Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be my preparation tips for the global Hoenn Tour, which will be taking place this Saturday and this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. EST, the US local time. So there are some similarities between this and the previously occurring Vegas event. The habitats are the same, the eggs are the same, etc. But there are some things that we do not know about global. And there are some things that will not happen at Global. So without further ado, let's start with the two badges. So we have the Ruby badge and the Sapphire badge. Now these don't have any exclusives to them except for one thing. And that is which Lottie duo you will encounter. So both of the Latios and Latios are wild. They are pretty much the same as the legendary birds of Galar, the Johto bees from Johto Tour, etc., where they are catchable, but the chance of you actually doing that is pretty low. These can be shiny. They are about a 1 in 20-ish rate, which is the legendary shiny rate. There will be a photo safari research, just like what happened with Johto Tour. But people that choose the Sapphire badge will be able to get Latias, and people that choose the Ruby badge will be able to get Latios. Beyond that, no exclusives, no difference. That's the only thing. And at the moment, it is not confirmed if these will have Mist Ball and Luster Purge. If that is confirmed, prior to me going live, I will tweet about it. But at the moment, they will not have them. That we know of. So you might be wondering, okay, so tickets the same, because these were wild in Vegas too. What do we have in the eggs? Well, for raids, T1s will be Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. T5 will be all forms of Deoxys. They can be shiny, you cannot form change them. And then Primal raids will be Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. Primal Groudon will have Precipice Blades, and Primal Kyogre will have Origin Pulse. These become the best ground and water types in the game. So if you have a hundo, may want to ETM it. Otherwise, do a couple of these, because A, you need the energy, and then B, save yourself the TM. At the moment, from Vegas, the average amount of energy a Primal Raid gave was 80, and you need 400 to be able to do the first Primal Reversion. So if you are planning to raid these a bunch, just prepare yourselves for that. You're going to have to do a lot of raids to get energy for them. Because we do not know at the moment if they will give energy from research. Megas will, but the Primals we don't know, but don't expect it. At the moment, there's no confirmation of Tier 3 raids with regionals, which we'll touch on in a minute. And there's no confirmation that there will be mega raids during this time. So, now the shiny rates, like I said, Kyogre, Groudon, and Deoxys are 1 in 20. Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip, at the time of recording this, when there's not the event going on, they are a 1 in 512. It is not confirmed if they will be boosted during the tour, but it is expected. What that boost is, we don't know. So like I said, the habitats were the same. So for Blistering Sands, I'll put pictures of these up as I'm talking about them. Blistering Sands has Torchic, Poochyena, Lotad, Nincada, Makuhita, Nosepass, Aeron, Cacnea, Numel, Baltoy, and Bagon. Of these, Nincada is a boosted rate. Cacnea, Numel's full. Nincada and Cacnea being the new shiny of this habitat, and Nincada being a perma-boosted 1 in 64 shiny rate. At the moment, everything else here is full odds. We do not know what will be boosted and what won't until the event goes live. Niantic has said to sites like Eurogamer that some things will be boosted and others will not. We do not know if they are referring to the already perma-boosted things, or if there's going to be other stuff that's boosted. For the Eerie Mists, we have Ralts, Surskit, which is new, Whismur, Meditite, Spoink, Zangoose, Seviper, which are regionals. I believe here in the US we have Seviper right now. So if you need either of those two, then they are not exclusive. Go play this habitat. Chimecho, which gives 1,000 dust per catch. Absol, which is perma-boosted. Snorunt, Lovedisk, and Beldum. For the Verdant Earth, we have Trico, Zigzagoon, Wurmple, who does have a random evolution method. You cannot control which one it evolves into. Seedot, Shroomish, which gives 500 dust per catch. Slackoth, Skitty, Mawile, which is perma-boosted. Electrike, Roselia, Gulpin, which is new, and Swablu. If there was one to avoid in this hour, it would be Slackoth. And for the Ancient Shores, we have Mudkip, Talo, Wingull, Carvana, Barboach, Corphish, Lileep, Anorith, Feebas, which is perma-boosted, Spheal, and Clamperl, which is also perma-boosted. Every shiny that is in this habitat has been released prior to the event. And then we get into the thing I've been seeing a lot of debate over for exclusives. The Primal Surges. Now, these Primal Surges are not exclusives. The only difference is based off of Las Vegas. The only difference is what color the research task is for you. So the Sapphire badges will have blue quests, the Ruby ones will have red. These spawns are not version exclusive that we know at the moment. And these are... So to get these spawns, they're hour dependent. Whichever team, Ruby or Sapphire, does the most research within that hour, that will determine which of these spawn groups will show. So for Primal Surge Kyogre, if Sapphire does more research for that hour, you will see spawns of Minun, Illumise, Wailmer, Lunatone, and Rainy Castform. And for the Groudon ones, if Ruby does more research, we will see Plusle, Volbeat, Trapinch, Solrock, and Sunny Castform. All forms of Castform can be shiny prior to this event. They release at the start of this current ongoing season. At the moment, those are full odds for both lists, but these may be boosted and stuff, we don't know yet. But again, those are not exclusives. The only difference is whichever team does more research within that hour, that team's spawns will be the ones that show up. And those spawns show for everybody. And then we have two new costume Pikachu for the event. The May Cap, or the May Bow, and the Brandon Cap. These are hats that the in-game main player characters wear in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So, if you're one of those costume fans or costume haters, these ones are based off official things. Unlike 90% of the other hat Pikachus. These can be shiny, and these probably will be boosted, because they are exclusive to the Hoenn Tour. Then we get into the money grabs of these events. So just like what happened at Vegas, Torkoal, Tropius, and Relicanth will be only in 10Ks. They may be surprise tier 3s when the event actually starts, but given that there were not tier 3 regional raids in Las Vegas, it's about a 90% chance that will be the same thing for global. So if you want a Torkoal, Relicanth, or Tropius shiny, good luck. Unlike Vegas, the 10Ks will not be as boosted. They were only as common for Vegas people because there was an add-on for Vegas that gave you more common 10Ks. So those are in 10Ks, but what are in the other eggs? Well, for 2Ks we have Pichu, Igglybuff, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip, Azurill, and Wynot. So the 2Ks are your basic Hoenn babies. All of these are in the Ruby and Sapphire Pokédex. Because I've seen people complain about why Igglybuff and Pichu are in there. It's because they're in the Pokédex for the game. So keep that in mind. For the 5Ks, we have our new Hoenn Shinies. We have Surskit, Gulpin, and Cacnea, which may not be worth doing these eggs. Because if you didn't see my other video, there was data mine stuff for the Chasing Legends research that all people playing the global event will get access to. And it sounds like, based off that, we're going to have to pick one of these 3 Pokemon for that research. And it said, picking Cacnea will give you Cacnea more on Incense and the research encounters, Gulpin encounters, etc. So while that's not confirmed to be part of that research, it is theorized that those will be boosted based on which one you pick. So until we have confirmation of that, I would hold off on the 5Ks. And then the 7Ks, they're really not worth it. We have Feebas, Trapinch, Bagon, and Beldum, which they're all in the habitats. Trapinch is in the Groudon Surge spawns. Ooh, voice crack there. And 7Ks are gift only, and there's been nothing confirmed going into gifts except stickers, which you can get from stops anyway. So there's no reason to do the 7Ks. Then, like I said, our 10Ks are Torkoal, Tropius, and Relicanth. All of these can be shiny. We do not know what the shiny rates for these will be. It is that includes the 3 regionals. Yes, a lot of people were getting them in Vegas, but that's because Vegas had boosted shiny rates. For the most part, Global does not, per what we know at this moment. So these 3 regionals could be boosted, or they could be full odds. We won't know until after the event. So if you're planning to do eggs, just keep that in mind. We don't know how common 10Ks are going to be compared to the other 2. We don't know what the shiny rates are going to be for them, etc. All this information, as well as on Pokemon Go Live, it's not too bad to find. Obviously, you got your shiny Jirachi Masterwork research, which is out right now in the shop. It cannot be gifted, unlike previous tickets for some reason. So you can't buy it for a friend, they'd have to buy it themselves. But that's out now. First stage is catch 385 Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn Pokemon with a gold Hoenn medal. And then stage 2 is stuff with your buddy, and we don't know the other stages yet at the time of recording this. So if you want that, it's in the shop right now. We do know that Kecleon will be making its shiny debut globally during this event. Now, thanks to Las Vegas, we do know that it's just going to be the same Kecleon mechanics as we have right now, where it just shows up on stops. But if you didn't catch that Vegas video I made, if you use a Go Plus or Gacha and have it set to spinning, it will block you out of the Kecleon encounter. So if you're using a Go Plus during this event like I plan to, I personally would set it to catch, so that way you don't miss. Because if your Go Plus spins a Kecleon stop, you have to wait the full 5 minutes for the stop to reset to get that Kecleon encounter. Because once it spins a stop, it locks out the Kecleon. So if you didn't play Vegas and you need a Kecleon shiny, keep that in mind. And I do believe the Go Plus Zorua bug, where if you have your buddy as a Hoenn Pokemon, it will not catch that Pokemon, is still a thing. Because that was one of the many issues that Vegas had. So I would set your buddy to something from either Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Scowler, etc. So that way you don't just... Even like a Tropius or something, I still wouldn't set that as your buddy because they may make it in raids or something, we don't know. So just to avoid any issues with that, I would just set something from a different generation as your buddy. So keep that in mind as well. Vegas's field research was ghost themed. There was things like evolving Inkata for Shedinja. I think it was transfer X Pokemon for Shuppet or Bayonet. Ghost types in research, basically. Now, these research tasks were not easily readable. This was intentional. So the Evolved Ninkata one had letters blocked out, and the transfer ones had stuff blocked out from them. So it's like, okay, that's just another Niantic bug, whatever. Nope, that was intended gameplay. So once it gets a little closer to, and we do know what the global tasks are, I will tweet what they are. Can't talk today. I will tweet what the research tasks are on my Twitter page. So make sure you're following that. I'll have a thing playing for it somewhere here. Around here, whatever. Again, we don't know what the rest of the Masterwork research is right now. We don't know what the Chasing Legends research is going to fully entail. As for the best Pokemon to Mega, that really depends on what you need. Because there isn't really... It's hard to say because we don't know if the habitats are going to rotate like they have in previous years. Obviously Vegas didn't because it's an in-person thing. They can just set different areas. But they haven't not confirmed how the habitats are going to work for global yet. And honestly, I don't expect them to until New Zealand starts, where they report it for us. So because of that, I can't really say Mega Evolve this, in case everything's spawning the whole time. But if you want to see what I will be Mega Evolving, then make sure you tune into my Twitch stream of the event. Of that playing around here too. Because I am streaming both days of this event. Shinies, bugs, who knows what we'll find, but should be a fun time either way. So now that's the basic info that we have for Global Tour out. We do not know how Unknown is being handled. We do not know how Spinda is being handled. Vegas had special stops that you could spin for Spinda. They have not said anything for how Global is going to handle that. Vegas did have collection challenges for each of the habitats. We don't know if Global is getting those. We probably will. But that all depends on how they do the habitats themselves. If Shedinja was in research at Vegas, and it's expected to be in field research for Global, but that's also not outright confirmed. Things you want to target for Megas and XLs. Just like Vegas, you want to target your Beldums, you want to target your Bagons, you want to target the Primals, your Absol, your Mawile, your Numels, your Carvanas, your starters, etc. Because the Hoenn Megas are some of the best Megas in the game. Particularly Salamence. Metagross will be gross. Blaziken's a budget fighting Mega, and I believe the second best fire Mega. Sceptile is the best grass Mega. Swampert's the best water Mega, and it's a budget ground. So, Hoenn has good Megas, so you want to target candies for those. Chimecho, Sableye, and Shroomish, you want to target because they are dust boosted mons. Shroomish gives 500, Chimecho gives 1,000, and Sableye gives 750. That is per catch without weather boost and without star piece. Which brings me into my next point, or tip, I guess. What items do you want? Well, like most events, you want incense, you want your star pieces, lucky eggs if you care about XP, the usual stuff. I would not recommend the special lures, the magnetic, the mossy, glacial, etc. Just because those have specific pools. And for this event, depending on how they do the habitats, you're going to want as many of these spawns as possible for candy and shiny checks and whatnot. And most of these special pools from these lures are not Hoenn Pokemon. There are Pokemon in them from Hoenn, but not all of them are exclusively Hoenn. And then obviously things like Probopass, they don't count for the Hoenn Dex. So Evolving Nosepass isn't going to get you your Hoenn medal if you don't have that yet. So things like that. So regular lures, if you have any. Lucky Eggs if you care about XP. Star Piece for the dust boosted mons and just dust in general. Incense, because that's probably where Unknown is going to be. But again, they haven't said anything about Unknown, so we don't really know. Then your Pikachus. For the incubators, I wouldn't go crazy for them just because, again, we don't know if like 2Ks are going to be more common or if these are going to be full odd shinies. So like, you can buy them if you want. I'm not going to stop you. Your account, your money, whatever. But personally, I wouldn't go crazy for them. And then same for the primals. Yes, they're some of the best Pokemon in the game, period. But 20 lobbies at Vegas were only getting 80 energy, when the minimum for all other Megas is 200. We don't know if that's going to stay the same for Global or if they'll make that worse or better. Hopefully better, but at the moment, the Primals giving that much energy, or that few energy, compared to other Mega Raids, is just a money grab so that you spend more money on passes for them. Quite frankly. That's why this event is free. Because they expect people to just whale money at them for the Primal Raids in the eggs. Again, if those are your targets, you do what you want. But personally, I would advise against going crazy. And at least until New Zealand and stuff can report what's actually going on. And then obviously, you want as much storage in both your bag and your Pokemon as possible. Niantic did recently just up the storage. So Pokemon storage now caps at 6,250. And the bag storage now caps at 5,250. If you have maxed out space and you're still struggling to keep things and keep spaces open, then you have a hoarding problem. I'm sorry. So keep that in mind as well. If you just have like extra shiny like Noibats and stuff from Comday seen around, you might want to start clearing some of that stuff out. You'll want to set up a search string just to block your hundos, your 0%, 3 stars, things like that. So that way you're not, if let's say you're catching stuff during the event, and you go to tap on a Kecleon or something that says your bag is full, you don't want to spend 10 minutes going through like, okay, this is a 98, this is a hundo, this is a 2-star. Whereas you have something like Hoenn and exclamation 4-star, comma, 3-star, etc. And you have that saved into your searches. If you get your bag, your storage full, you can just click into that and then just select it all and trash it. Saves a lot of time. And with these events, having to clear space out is not something you want to be doing. We also do not know, aside from Groudon and Kyogre, if Comday and Signature moves are going to be available. So things like Frenzy Plant Sceptile, Blast Burn Blaziken, Meteor Match Metagross, Outrage Salamence. Vegas did not have those available, and there's no information on whether or not Global will. So if you have a bunch of Shadows Bagons like me that you're waiting to evolve for move availability, don't get your hopes up. because at the moment it is not happening. Which sucks because prior tours had it, so I don't know why this one won't or wouldn't, but it's Niantic, so who knows. Now, right before I went to record this, Niantic support did tweet out that because of issues that were apparently happening with the egg add-ons in Vegas, anyone that purchased those will have them for the global tour. This is significant because these are the only add-ons from Vegas that will work for global, because prior none of the add-ons did. All the Vegas bonuses were exclusively for Vegas. So if you bought the add-on for that, congratulations, because now you have all those bonuses for global this weekend. I did not, because obviously I didn't go to Vegas. But so if you want to see a normal person's gameplay that doesn't have any add-ons or sponsored whatever, yada yada, I will be streaming both days on my Twitch channel, which all my links are in the description. There'll be animations playing. The event starts at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. EST US for me. So whatever that is for your time zone. Just follow my Twitter and stuff, because I'll tweet when I'm going live, so that way you don't have to do that. Weather is decent here, so it shouldn't be too bad, but if it's like super sunny where you're at, make sure you sunscreen, make sure you have a water, make sure you have your chargers, all that kind of stuff. All those tips from my Vegas video carry on into here, because that's where you don't want to get dehydrated or something while you're out. We do not know at the moment, like I said, if there'll be collection challenges, if there'll be that evolving thing that prior tours have had. We don't know if that stuff is going to show up. But just in case it does, if you have a buddy or something that's playing it too, try to link up with them so that if there is anything that is exclusive or ends up being exclusive beyond the Lottie duo, you can get both ends of that taken care of without issue. Aside from the perma-boosted things like Mawile and Absol, I'm not expecting too many other things to be boosted, except for maybe like the starters and things that have had calm days, so like Slack Off, Bag On, etc. But like I said, with that data mined research, I wouldn't be surprised if Gulpin, Cacnea, and Surskit become boosted based off a choice between the three you have to make, if that is what ends up happening. So the best thing that I can say, there's a bug up there. Oh well. The best thing I can say, if you have coins, can look at the boxes that are out, because they're decent. See what you need from them, figure out what your targets are, and use those coins accordingly. I wouldn't just buy a bunch of boxes just to buy them. Same with passes and incubators. Figure out what you need first and plan around that. But most importantly, just have fun. If you don't get a ton of shinies or you have glitches or whatever, oh well, it's Niantic. Those are inevitable. Like if it's a nice day or something, go out, grab a bite to eat from a local place somewhere or something. If you're with friends, go do something with them alongside it. Like don't plan your entire day around this event, just in case it ends up being similar to Vegas where there's a bunch of issues and the game goes down or something. Have a backup plan. We do not know what Sunday's events are going to look like. All we know is that it's both days. I'm expecting Sunday will probably just be a repeat, maybe with more emphasis on raids or something. But we don't know for sure. So for the moment, figure out what you want. Stay tuned to my medias, because I'll tweet and stuff once we know what habitats and how they're working and things are. Figure out what you need. Spend your coins accordingly. clear your space out, bag and Pokemon storage. Make sure your chargers are charged. Make sure you've got water and snacks and whatnot that you need throughout the day. Make sure you get all that sunscreen, hat, whatever. Warmer clothes if you're in a snowy area like I am. That kind of thing. Get all that stuff taken care of now, so that when the day comes and it's an hour before it starts, you're not scrambling to get things ready, because then you'll probably forget something. But most importantly, just have fun with the event. It's a Niantic event, so nothing's going to be perfect. Seems to be quite a theme of things this week, but it's the truth, sadly. If you don't get the one big shiny you're hoping to get, don't fret. Things will come back. These regionals are in 10Ks for this, yes. But eventually they're going to come back in some other event like a Go Fest or something. So if you don't get like your big target, don't worry, it'll probably come back. So nothing's gone forever. Unless there's a challenge that requires doing the Deoxys, I wouldn't do those. Just because of primals and other things going on. None of the Deoxys forms are useful unless you PvP, in which case you want Defense form. But that one is also the one that takes the most amount of people to beat, so good luck getting people to do it. But yeah, I would avoid the T1 and T5s. If you have to do any raids at all, I would do the primals. There we go. I would do the primal raids. And then if regionals are in tier 3s, I would do those just to get candy for them. But at the moment that's not confirmed, so I would just focus on the primal raids. Or just don't raid at all. Who knows. But yeah, those are my best tips. Have a backup plan in case you can't play the game at all. Have snacks, have a water. Make sure your chargers are good. Make sure your bag and storage spaces are good. I'd say about 1,000 of each would be a good starting point to have available. But if you can't go higher than that, then do. I'm going to go through a bunch of my stuff later and clear a bunch of stuff out that I'm not using. So have those available. Figure out where you want to play, whether that's in a park or a downtown or something. Look at the weather for this weekend and plan accordingly to that. And then just have fun. Hopefully you get what you want. Hopefully you get what you're after. Hopefully the game works this time. I'm sorry, it's too funny how much stupid stuff's happened this week with this game. Anyway. Yeah, just make sure you have fun. If the Comm Day moves and stuff do become available, follow me on my Twitter. I will tweet that they are. I will, like I said, be live streaming this event this weekend. I don't know if I'll do another tip video for this unless something drastic comes up. But just in case something does, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss it. And that you're as updated as possible with what's going on with this stuff prior to the event starting. Because if you didn't see, I did post earlier a video about the coming changes to remote raiding. So I try to keep you guys as updated as possible. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on so that way you're not out of the loop on things. Hopefully some of these tips helped you. Again, like I said, because I'm just reading off the article here right now. But I will have pictures and stuff of the habitats and whatnot scattered when I'm talking about them. So if there's anything that you guys can think of that I didn't mention, put it in the comments. And with that being said, I'll catch you next time.